Hi beautiful, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I am going to do a full face of vegan slash cruelty makeup that I found in Mecca Cosmetica. Now these products right here are leaning towards more on the plant-based kind of makeup where they don't use any animal derived ingredient. So without further ado, let's hop right into the video. The first product that I'm going to try out is this Mecca Max Skin Filter Primer. Now Mecca Max, I think a couple of years ago, announced that they are now 100% vegan, which is amazing because Mecca Max is such an affordable brand that has got that high-end quality to it, and it's a house brand of Mecca Cosmetica. This blurring primer is supposed to blur your pores, leaving you with a no filter canvas. It's a skin smoothing formula, and this is what it looks like. It does not smell like anything at all, which is good because for the most part vegan products usually tend to smell a little bit on the more natural side. It feels very good to the skin. It just feels like a moisturizer, but it has a little bit of like a thin film that you feel. I guess that's the blurring effect. Right off the bat, I don't actually see it pretty much blurring my skin that much compared to the Smashbox primer or the e.l.f. putty primer. I'm just gonna add a little bit more on the areas where I want to really blur. I think that looks quite decent enough. So the next product that I am going to try is this brow pencil. Again, this is from Mecca Max. This is their Brow Guru Micromatic Pencil. So it comes with a spoolie at the end. And the nib looks like this. It's not pointy, it's more of a flat pencil, which I think would be great, especially if you want to do like a hair stroke. So I'm just quickly gonna apply my brow pencil. So these are my brows. I love how the brow pencil was able to make my brows somewhat look natural, though I don't really like the shade of the pencil because it looks more gray and ashy against my hair color. And when the light hits, it gets really washed out. But overall, it performed pretty good. And also, this is only $20. Nothing too special. Like, I don't do intense filling when it comes to my brows. I like to make them as natural as I would. So I'm just gonna quickly fill it in more with a brow gel. I don't have a vegan brow gel, so I'll just use what I have. I have this Ilia Vivid foundation, and it comes with a pump. This is their older formula. I know that they're trying to discontinue it, so I got this for sale. This foundation is filled with healing botanicals to help calm and revitalize the skin. The moisturizing properties of aloe vera aid in long-lasting hydration and simulate a tightening of the skin while healing the nature of white tea and rosemary extract. The lightweight formula offers buildable coverage and leaves a natural radiance to the skin. I opened it the first time when I received the package and I found that it kind of leaked everywhere, so you really have to full on shake it. Here is the formula. It's a little bit runny, as I would hope it would be. I guess you have to do like a really full on shake. But the shade match is not that bad. It's a little bit more neutral than my liking. So this is in the shade F5 Tanami. I am going to try and apply that on this side of my face. I'll really spread the product. So here is what my face looks like with a thin layer. You could still see my skin through, but it did a good job in somewhat evening out my skin tone. Majority of my redness have disappeared, though it's still somewhat visible. So if you have a really good skin without any marks or anything like that, I feel like you will like this foundation. It does feel a little bit tacky though, and I find that it kind of dried rather too quick. Coverage wise, it's pretty good, so I'm just gonna quickly apply some foundation on the other side of my face, and then we are going to build up the coverage. So this side of my face has got more redness and marks, and it pretty much covered the redness and toned it down a little bit, but you could still see my skin. I mean, if I were to head out the door, I would probably put on like a full coverage pressed powder and I'm pretty good to go. Again, it does feel a little bit tacky, but it's nothing too overwhelming. Could actually kind of feel the foundation whenever I move my face because of that tightness. I think it has something to do with the aloe vera aid, which says right here that it simulates a tightening of the skin. I mean, if you have more of a mature skin, I feel like you would probably prefer this foundation. So I'm just going to quickly layer the coverage and see how much we can build the foundation. I would say that this foundation can build up to a full medium coverage. I do love how my skin looks. It looks pretty natural and a little bit radiant as well. This right here is kind of hard to cover as well as the redness. So what I'm going to do is to just conceal those extreme redness that I have off camera, and then we're going to move on to the concealer. So moving into the concealer, again, I have this concealer from Ilia once again, and this is called the Vivid Concealer, which goes hand in hand with the foundation, and it comes in a squeezy tube. It does get a little bit oily, same situation as the foundation, so you really have to shake it. This is the formula right here, so it's a little bit thicker than the foundation. It has a little bit of a moussey formula, so I have the shade Dandelion C3. This concealer is a botanical packed gentle formula for sensitive skin. It provides a light to medium coverage. It also has healing properties of aloe and coconut oil to soothe and hydrate, while arnica and green tea extract help calm inflammation. This would be great if you have more like blemishes or eczema that you wanted to cover, but under the eyes it might feel a little bit heavy. But since I don't have any other concealer, I'm going to try this on my eyes. It does look a little bit too pinky for my under eye, but it will act as a corrector for under the eyes since I do have a pretty heavy bags over there. So I'm going to pat that on the inner part and then maybe try and apply a little bit on my lid. And again, I'm going to use the sponge. I should have purchased a lighter shade because this one right here is not really helping brighten my under eye at all. If anything, it made it a little bit darker, a teeny tiny bit more. First impression, that concealer is great. I feel like that concealer would be good for a no makeup look if you wanted to conceal the bag, but if you're looking for a brightening effect, this is not it. So now to set my face, I am going to use the Mecca Max Banana Bake. I did a first impression on this when it first came out and I actually quite like this. This formula is very, very finely milled. It's very, very finely milled that you can't really bake with this powder, and also it seeps right into the skin. So I'm just gonna try and kind of set this part first before I set the rest of my face. I want that area to be a little bit matte, and then I'll pop this powder. This foundation is a little bit matte and it looks a little bit cakey. I'll just use a huge powder brush to try and fix everything. For blush today, the reason why I did not set my cheeks is because I have this cream blush right here, and this is from Juice Beauty, and this is in the shade 04 Flush. This is what it looks like. It's a nice creamy formula, and I am going to use a Real Techniques brush and kind of just tap it. This is a little bit glossy, so it will need setting if you want it to last on your face. I did set this part of my eye right here, and I find that it blends pretty good with the powder. It does not lift it up. So I'm going to do the same on this side right here. just apply on top. God, my hair is everywhere. On this part of my cheek to have a more youthful glow. As you can see, there's a little bit of like sheen to it. And for the bronzer today, I have this one right here from Well People. So Well People is more of a organic clean brand, and this is the Bio Base Big Bronzer, and ooh, I love this shade. It's that kind of burnt sun-kissed shade. And that's it right there. I am going to pick up my bronzer brush, just tap a little bit because I feel like this is going to be a little bit too pigmented. So I'm going to start off here. It added like a nice sun-kissed glow to the skin, but I can't really tell if it's the blush or the bronzer. So I'm going to pick up a little bit of that on like a blending brush and try to apply that on my nose. I feel like I have to apply it with a smaller brush, so I'm going to pick up this brush right here so I get the full-on experience. My face is looking a little bit cakey because of the foundation, because I feel like it dries to a powdery finish. It still has a little bit of luminous though. Unfortunately, this powder right here is making my under eyes look a little bit tired and dull. Like if I turn this way, you could see the cast. So I am going to fix that off camera. So for eyeshadow, again, I am going to use the Mecca Max Sugar Queen eyeshadow palette mainly. I also have the Desert Queen version of the brand. So I am going to dip in back and forth. I am going to apply a blush. So I'm going to pick up maybe the shade right here for a blush. Just a little bit. And pop that on top. And we're looking a little bit blushy today. And then grab the powder brush to try and tone that a little bit. And for the highlighter, I am going to go and use a shade from the Desert Queen, and I'm going to pick up this shade right here, which is a nice golden highlight. I feel like it complements the somewhat glow that we have. I do, however, have this patch right here that did not get covered, so I'm going to go and put a little bit of concealer just on that teeny tiny area, blend it out, and then apply a little bit of the blush. And for the eyes today, I'm going to use this Sugar Queen eyeshadow palette, and I really want to do like a peachy eyeshadow makeup. So I'm going to dip into this shade again, which is that pink shade that we use, and use that as a transition shade. I'm not gonna put too much because I'm going to wear this makeup literally for the whole day. I just want it to be soft and summery. And I am going to use the same shade and apply that underneath the eyes. And for the shimmer, I'm going to use this shade right here. Just lightly. Actually, I'm going to use a brush for that, just so we get like a wash of pink. I'm gonna go back to that transition shade to blend. Now I'm going to do a liner, just a little teeny tiny smoked out liner. So I'm going to go and use the Desert Queen eyeshadow palette and pick up this brown shade right here. It has a little bit of warmth to it, so it will tie in with a pink on the eye. So I'll just follow this line and kind of just drag that along. And voila! So unfortunately, I don't have any mascara that I like from or picked up from the vegan collection from Mecca Cosmetica, so I'll just quickly apply my mascara off camera and then I'll come back and do the lips. I fixed a little bit my under eye using the Hourglass powder, so that's technically somewhat cruelty free. I'm not sure if this specific powder is vegan though. It's still on that line. What I'm going to do is to line my lips. Unfortunately, I don't have a vegan lipstick or anything like that that I picked up from Mecca, so I'm just going to use this XO Beauty lip liner, which is technically vegan as well. And to go over that on top, I have the XO Beauty lipstick. This one is in the shade Sudari. This is more of a brown nude. So on top of that lips, I have this Mecca Max lipstick. It's in caramel, and this is the Lip Whip formula. I should have picked up a lipstick from the Mecca Max line, but I did not have time. I do know that their glosses are amazing as well, so I'm just going to put this in the middle. And then I'll go back to the Juice Beauty blush and apply a little bit of that on the lips to get that glossy finish. To set the makeup, I have the Mecca Max Banana Bake Blurring Setting Spray. This has a very aggressive spritz, so I'm just gonna a lot on my face because the foundation is starting to look a little bit too much on my skin, and it added a little bit of a glow to the face. And here is my final makeup look using the vegan makeup from Mecca Cosmetica. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm so sorry that not everything I used was vegan, but majority of it is cruelty free. And also the downside of purchasing vegan makeup in New Zealand is that it's very expensive. There's not a lot of choices out there, especially for me with a darker skin tone. Please make sure to subscribe to my channel for more updates, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye!